Level 1, the given boy. You are 7 years old. 17 BCE. The longhouse smells of smoke and wet pine. The Weezer runs gray and fast outside. Your father, Segimer, stands at the door with his back to you. He is chief of the Cherusci. He is a tall man. He is not turning around. 2 Roman soldiers wait in the mud. Short men. Iron armor. They are not nervous. They have done this before, collected children from chieftains who want peace more than they want their sons. It is called a hostage arrangement. Nobody calls it that in front of you. Your mother is somewhere in the house. She doesn't come to the door. The Romans write a name on a tablet. Latin letters. A Latin word that fits in Roman mouths better than anything your mother ever called you. Arminius. You watch the stylus move and you understand, even at 7, that the name is a kind of leash. One soldier puts his hand on your shoulder and turns you toward the road south. Your father still has not moved. You look at the back of his head. The gray weave of his cloak. The way he stands rooted, rigid, the posture of a man who has already finished deciding something terrible. Around you, the beech trees drip. The river keeps moving. The soldier's boots make sounds in the mud. You have no word yet for what is being done to you. You will spend the next 30 years finding one. You go. Level 2, the Latin tongue. You are 10 years old. Rome is marble and noise. The Forum alone is louder than any battle you will ever survive, and no one draws a sword. There are fountains everywhere, in the courtyards, in the streets, and at night they make a sound that is nothing like a river, nothing like water and you lie on a tile floor in the dark and listen to it and it is wrong. They teach you Latin. They teach you Greek. They teach you formations, the testudo, the wedge, the pivot under pressure, the way a column dies when it funnels into narrow ground. Your instructors say you are quick. You learn to love being quick because it is the only thing here that is yours. Everything else, the name, the roof, the language forming in your mouth, belongs to them. You are not mistreated. That is almost worse. They are generous with a boy they own. They give you wool in winter, oil at the baths, the run of a good library. Kindness is a form of weight. You learn to read their kindness the same way you learn to read their tactics. As information. As something to one day use. At night, when the fountain sounds wrong and the tile is cold, you find the words for things in the old tongue. Tree. Water. Home. Father. You say them quietly until they lose meaning and then you find them again. You do not cry. You stop doing that somewhere on the road south. The cage is marble and it is well lit. Level 3, the eagle's shadow. You are 20 years old. 3 BCE. You are a Roman officer now. Auxiliary cavalry prefect. Germanic men under your command, wearing Roman armor, following Roman orders delivered in Latin by a man who was born in a longhouse and still dreams in 2 languages. The legionaries respect you. You are precise, fast, decisive. You understand Roman formations from the inside, the pressure points, the gaps, the places where the line thins when the terrain works against it. You ride the Danube campaigns. Hard country. Illyrian hills, cold crossings, mud that grabs at horses' hooves. You do what is asked and you do it well, and Rome rewards you for it. Roman citizenship. The equestrian rank. A diploma with both your names, the Latin one, and the ghost of the other. You hold the document and read them both and something in your chest sits very still. This is when you understand what Rome is. Not the marble. Not the Senate. Not the speeches about law and order and the light of civilization. Rome is a machine that conscripts the men it defeats, trains them with precision, and then uses their expertise to push the frontier further into the world those men once called their own. The genius of it is that the men thank Rome for the privilege. They frame their diploma. They take pride in their rank. They become its instrument before they know they have been made into one. You have been made into one. You pin the diploma to your tent wall. You stare at it a long time. You don't take it down. Level 4, the province. You are 25 years old. 7 CE. You are back in Germania. Not sent away this time. Posted back, as Rome's man, as an officer who knows the language and the terrain and the people, which is exactly what makes you useful. Publius Quinctilius Varus is governor. He is methodical, aristocratic, convinced that the north is already half Roman and merely needs administration. He trusts you. He says you are different from the rest. You translate in his courts. You watch him tax the free tribes, the Cherusci, the Bructeri, the Marsi. Watch him summon clan elders and make them stand in Roman lines and wait. You watch him apply the law the way you apply pressure to a wound, too hard, too fast, without understanding what is underneath. Varus does not see the forest. He sees a province. He sees roads to be built and taxes to be levied and barbarians to be civilized. He does not hear the way men's voices drop when they speak to him. He does not see what their hands do when they walk away. At night, men from your father's clan come to your tent. They speak in the tongue the Romans cannot follow. They say, "Look. Look what is being done to us. Look at the courts. Look at the taxes. Look at the way they take what is not theirs and call it order." You already know. You have been watching for months. You have been cataloging it the way a physician catalogs a disease, the fever, the inflammation, the point at which the body decides to fight. You say, "Not yet. Let me watch. Let me think." You are building something. Slowly. In the dark. Level 5, the lie. You are 26 years old. 8 CE. You build the trap the way Rome builds roads. Methodically. Layer by layer. No visible seams. You eat at Varus's table. You drink his wine. You laugh when he laughs. You bring him intelligence on the tribes, some true, some shaped, all of it calibrated to the picture you want him to hold in his head. A pacified province. Small flare-ups here and there. Nothing 3 legions cannot handle. You are his eyes in the north. He says so himself. He says it with warmth. Suggests watches you. Your future father-in-law. A pro-Roman Cheruscan noble, meticulous and suspicious, who has read you accurately since the beginning. He warns Varus twice. He asks him to arrest you both, himself and you. He says, "Arrest us both, put us in chains if you must, but do not march into that forest." Varus listens politely and ignores him. Suggests has his own grievances with you, his own personal anger. Varus decides that's the root of it. You court Thusnelda, suggests daughter. She is proud, clear-eyed, nothing like the women who live inside Roman ideas about what women should be. Her father forbids it. You take her anyway. She comes willingly, she chooses you, your side of the fire, the old language. Suggests calls it abduction. You call it what it is. You spend months meeting the other chiefs in the dark. You speak about a route. A detour. A small rebellion in the northwest that Varus must go crush before winter closes the passes. A shortcut through the trees. Each chief agrees. Varus agrees. No one suspects the man who learned to smile in 2 languages. Level 6, the forest. You are 27 years old. 9 CE. On a September morning you ride out of the Roman camp and tell Varus you are going ahead to coordinate auxiliary support. You say it the way you say everything to him, clean, practical, useful. He nods. He trusts you. The forest takes the legions like a tide takes sand. 3 columns. 17,000 men plus auxiliaries, cavalry, servants, wagons, families. The Teutoburg is dense beech and oak, the paths narrow and soft with rain. They cannot form a battle line. The testudo needs open ground. The cavalry is useless between the trees. The men at the rear cannot hear what is happening at the front. They just hear it getting closer. From the high ground and the tree line, your warriors hit the column from all sides at once. Arrows. Spears. Then men, pouring through the gaps. It lasts 3 days. 3 days of rain and mud and Roman discipline finally failing inside a forest that doesn't care about Roman discipline. Varus falls on his own sword before the 3rd day ends. The 17. The 18. The 19. 3 legions. 3 eagles. 20,000 men erased in 3 days. You stand at the wood's edge when it is over. Rain on your face. The trees are dark and absolutely still. No drums. No horns. Just the wet forest and the silence after. In Rome, Augustus receives the news and walks the palace at night screaming the same name over and over. Varus. Varus. Give me back my legions. He never gets them. Level 7, the unruly free. You are 28 years old. 10 CE. Victory does not bind men. This is the thing you did not account for, the thing Rome never has to account for, because Rome has chains and ranks and laws and the promise of salary. You have fire and shared blood and the memory of 3 burning Roman legions. It burns hot and fast and then the tribes go home. The Cherusci feast. Then they argue. The Marsi go east. The Bructeri have their own war to fight. You call councils and men come and they listen and then they leave and do what they were going to do regardless. You win skirmishes against the Roman punitive columns they send across the Rhine, small, hard fights in familiar ground. You hold the line. But the coalition bleeds away tribe by tribe, grievance by grievance, until you are chief of what used to be an alliance and is now just your own clan and a handful of men who have nowhere else to be. You push for something larger. A confederation. One voice. They scatter like sparks. You understand, slowly and without wanting to, that you are trying to build a nation out of people who have always defined freedom as the right not to be organized. That is what freedom means here, no king, no order imposed from outside the kin group, no Arminius telling you what to do any more than the Romans would. The irony of it lands on you like cold water. You freed them from Rome. Now they are free from you, too. The forest holds. But just barely. Level 8, the man across the water. You are 32 years old. 14 CE. Germanicus comes. Not with 3 legions. With 8. He is young and systematic and he burns villages the way Rome paves roads, one after another, in straight lines, without sentiment. He reclaims the Teutoburg site. He buries what bones are left. He finds 2 of the lost eagles. He advances methodically toward the Weser. You stand on the east bank of the river in 16 CE. Across the water, on the Roman side, there is a man in Roman armor on a Roman horse. He sees you at the same moment you see him. Your brother. Flavus. The other son Segimer gave to Rome. Still wearing their uniform. Still their man. You shout across the water in the language your mother taught you both. He shouts back in the language Rome gave him. He shows you his face, the empty socket where his eye was, lost in some Roman campaign, and he says it with pride. A Roman wound. A mark of service. Of belonging. You tell him what belonging looks like from this bank. Neither of you crosses. He is so enraged by the time you stop talking that Roman soldiers have to physically drag him back from the waterline. He has his horse. He has his weapons. He would cross. He would fight you. His own brother. Rome did that to him too. The river stays between you. You never speak again. Level 9, what Rome takes. You are 33 years old. 15 CE. Suggests delivers thus Nelda to Germanicus. She is pregnant. Carrying your son inside her body. Her father, Rome's man, right to the end, hands her over to the general as proof of loyalty, as a trophy, as a signal to the tribes that the Cheruscan nobility is fractured. Germanicus accepts her with the graciousness of a man who knows exactly what he holds. Tacitus records what she looks like in that moment. She does not weep. Her hands are folded inside the folds of her robe. Her eyes are fixed ahead. Her gaze does not move to suggests. It does not move to the Romans. She carries the weight of her womb and she stands there like iron and she says nothing. You ride for 3 days alone through the forest when you hear. You eat nothing. Your men follow at a distance. They have seen hard men before. This is something else. This is a man being unmade at the center, quietly, in motion. Your son is born inside Roman custody. His name will be Thamelicus. He will grow up in captivity, displayed in Germanicus's triumph through the streets of Rome, and he will die young and forgotten and no source records how. Your family is gone. Your wife. Your child. Your blood, inside their empire, unreachable. You ride back out of the forest. You raise your voice across every Cheruscan settlement you can reach. War, you say. War against suggests. War against Rome. War, war, war. Your throat is raw with it. Both things are true at once, it is grief, and it is real. Level 10, the end of the free man. You are 37 years old. 21 CE. By now the body carries it all. A wound from Diviso still tightens in cold weather, the open plain battle where Germanicus hit you with 8 legions on ground that favored Roman lines. You fought in the front rank as you always do, took a spear or a blade, smeared your own blood on your face to change your appearance and rode north into the trees. You survived. Germanicus withdrew. Tiberius, cautious, pulled the campaigns back. The Rhine became Rome's eastern edge and stayed there. But the victory that was yours cost everything around it. The tribes will not follow. The old confederation is rubble. The Cheruscan nobles watch you with different eyes now, not the eyes of men watching a liberator. The eyes of men watching someone who might, one day, want a throne. You fought Rome to stay free, they say. And now look at you. You speak like a king. Your kinsmen plan it carefully. Your own blood. Men who ate at your fire and sheltered in your name and lived because the Romans did not cross the Rhine. They coordinate. They choose a night when your guard is thin. You see it coming. You see it in the way men stop talking when you enter. In the silences that counsel. In the eyes that look away. You ride out anyway, because what is the alternative? To live small and frightened after all of it? To hide from the very people you freed? The attack comes in the dark. Multiple men. Blades. You fight. There is no noble last stand recorded, no famous final words. There is a wounded man on dark ground going down. Tacitus gives it one sentence. Your son lives and dies in Rome without your name. Your wife lives and dies inside their borders without ever returning. And somewhere in the Teutoburg Forest, in the country that will one day call you its first hero, the trees are quiet and the river keeps moving and nothing marks the place where you fell. And now you are history.